Storygram Network.
Hello, we are the Sonoma Community Center podcast, a place of creativity, connection, and community. We highlight the artists, teachers, and the community that come through the doors of our historic brick building, often called the heart of Sonoma. We share local tips and shout-outs to our home, Sonoma Valley. And we are your hosts, Molly Spencer.
Gerardo Diaz.
We are the engagement team of the Sonoma Community Center.
Whoop, whoop.
Hello, everyone. It's Molly Spencer over at the Sonoma Community Podcast, and I'm super excited. I feel like it's been forever. Gerardo, welcome back.
Yeah, thank you. I've been sick for a while, you know.
I know. You want to share just a little bit? You're doing good. This is a good day.
It's like a up and down with me, you know, like a roller coaster. You know, one day I'm good, one day, you know, just feeling super crappy. But
yeah,
today's a good day.
You do look cool with that eye patch.
I know. The only thing, like, people keep asking me, like, what happened to the eye? So sometimes I tell a story like, oh, you know, I was in the bar and somebody stabbed me in the eye, you know, making it sound cool. I can just tell them, oh, my eye got paralyzed.
Well,
Doesn't
I'm glad
sound
you're
as
back.
fun. Yeah,
and we just got over a very successful event, Dia de los Muertos.
Dia de los Muertos, that's right.
It was beautiful, you guys.
Yeah, it was really
beautiful. So we have an outside altar where the public is really welcome to bring community photos. Inside, we had a traditional altar that Maite Ortiz, thank you so much for setting up. We had food donated, and my favorite is Ballet Hispanico.
Quetzalén. Yeah, Quetzalén was pretty cool. Also, I want to give thanks to the volunteers who came in and helped me do tamales.
Yes.
On Sunday, 29, I believe. There was a couple people. Yeah, there was like 8 people.
Yeah. The funniest thing is you had a volunteer thing for you, all those tamales that you make. And yet we still have people coming out of the woodworks to do tamales.
Yes,
right?
yes. It was pretty
I'm
fun,
saying
though.
tamales every month.
It was really funny, though, like, because I couldn't control how much masa they were putting on the tamales. And some tamales were, like, super huge.
I
and
noticed.
some tamales were, like, super small. So.
Well, we thank you, everyone that supported that. And a big, huge congratulations to Victor, who is a treasure artist.
Yes, he is.
So,
pretty cool.
Well deserved.
Yep.
And speaking of artists, I'm just really excited. We have a family in the house. We have the Smith family.
Ooh.
Andrew, I'll let you take it away and start and then go on down the line.
Sure. Hi, everyone. I'm Andrew Smith.
I'm Maeve Smith, and let's see if we can get a sound
Fiona.
bite here.
I'm Fiona Smith.
And would you like to say hi? Okay, we have some
Teagan,
coloring
we have a
going on
4-year-old.
too.
She's more on the shy side.
Yeah, Teagan Lane
But she
Smith.
looks like a really good artist, and she is making maybe a placemat. We do a free Thanksgiving every year at the Vets Building. The whole community is invited. So on Thanksgiving at
amazing.
the Vets Building. So we'll be cooking up a storm, and we have wonderful placemats by all our artists.
Yeah, and they're always looking for volunteers for that day. So
Yeah.
call us up.
We
and
get quite a few volunteers
yeah.
that turn out. So
Yep,
I love
yep.
it. But I want to get into Andrew and Maeve. Basically, you're right down the hall.
Right down
and
the
you're
hall.
putting on just a little production.
Just a little tiny Christmas production. Yes. We're working with Sonoma Arts Live, based out of here in the community center in Andrews
Exactly.
Hall. I'm the
Great
president.
theater company.
Great theater
Yeah.
company. We've been around since 2015, I think, as this incarnation. And Maeve and I have been working with them for a couple of years now. We've been in Sonoma 6 years, and with Sal, probably last 2 or so that we've done productions, right? 2.5 maybe?
Yeah.
And we kind of had a crazy thing happen this season. We had to have our scheduled Christmas show pull out due to scheduling issues, and we had to come up with a new show. And luckily, we had the rights to a wonderful show called Nuncrackers, which is part of the Nunsense collection, which is a play on Nutcrackers, of course. And it's a
I
Christmas
love
show.
it.
Yeah, of course
I'm
you love it.
definitely coming.
Oh, yeah. And I'm lucky enough, I'll be directing this show, and it's going to be starring a couple of lovely ladies, including my wife, Maeve, and making her theatrical debut, Fiona Lynn Smith, my 7-year-old daughter.
Oh, Fiona.
Wow.
Yay. I'm so excited. So this is a family affair.
Family fare.
And it's a perfect play to bring the family as well, right?
Absolutely. It's fun for all ages, and that's not just the cliche, right? There's some funny jokes the adults will get. There's some lovely laugh out loud moments that the kids will really enjoy, and it's just really wholesome and heartfelt throughout.
Awesome.
Do you agree, Maeve? Yeah?
Yeah, I mean, what's more fun than watching nuns run around crazy with their Catholic school kids and singing songs and having jokes, and hilarity ensues, as of course what happens in every convent.
Sorry, you say nuns?
Uh-huh.
Yep.
All right, I thought it was like the Nuncrackers. I thought it was a Nutcracker theater.
It's a takeoff. It's a marriage. Maybe you can explain, and maybe some people that are listening don't understand the whole Nunsense, because you guys, we'll get into it and we'll go back. Your musical
theater
nerd background. But
I like to say professionals, but nerds, that works too. Historians.
Oh, we are, yeah.
So Nunsense, Dan Goggins wrote a slew of these. It's basically the Little Sisters of Hoboken putting on shows to sometimes raise money, sometimes celebrate different seasons in their convent. And in this case, it was the convent basement. They turned into a film studio or TV studio to put on their first TV show celebrating Christmas this year. And it features, if you do know Nunsense, you'll recognize the characters. And if you don't know Nunsense, we're going to teach you. So don't be afraid to come see it.
Yeah, Nuncrackers. So is there some takeoff of dancing from like the Nutcracker, kind of making fun of it in here? Because
dancing is a very kind word to use for what we're doing up there. There is a play on that.
That's the best kind of dancing.
Yeah, from the heart, right? From the heart and from the silliness. Yeah. I wrote in the director's notes recently, the path to this life is becoming increasingly tenuous, right? So all those little curves and turns in life can be silly. We should embrace the silly and enjoy this path a little bit. So yes, there is a little play on the Nutcracker. And yes, there will be choreography that we're very proud of. But it may be stuff you have not used to seeing in association with Nutcracker.
Never before seen choreography.
That's exciting. You know, I was just listening to like behind the scenes on Saturday Night Live. So I envision a little like,
yep,
that's truly, even though,
Bingo.
So those that don't know, I actually got delightful. I met you folks a couple of years ago and I taught Fiona ballet. And so I'm getting a hand raised from Fiona.
First ballet teacher.
And Fiona, I think it was a sleepy Saturday morning for you. You were definitely like to take some naps and lie on the ground. And look at you now.
Yeah. Do you want to do one of your poses? No, they'll have to come see it? Okay.
Exactly. So we're excited to have the whole family here and and it's opening December 1st, folks. So when this is coming out, it's time to get tickets.
Absolutely. That's right. It'll be Thanksgiving week, right? So we want to definitely get tickets. We hope to sell this out. It's, like I said, good for all ages. So you have family in town and they want to come see it. And no one will not enjoy this show.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's December 1st. Is it a 3-week run?
3-week run, December 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and then the Thursday through Sunday the next week, and then the Thursday through Sunday the third week of December.
In my opinion, it's a very affordable and fun option to what's out there. I'm not knocking the ballet world, but it's expensive to go to the San Francisco Ballet and see some of these things.
And go into the city.
And parking. And we got plenty of parking here at the community center. You know?
I'm going to start charging $20 an hour.
For parking? Yeah, you should.
Yeah.
Make some money.
But with the iPads, you can do whatever you want. There you go. $20, do it more.
We always get... There's nothing wrong with it. Tesla parkers that are coming to visit. But please, we have 1 million signs saying, don't go out the wrong way. And they do it every single time.
Every time.
They're Teslas.
Every time.
They can do whatever they want.
Yeah, I blame Elon.
Elon. Okay, we're going to back up a little bit.
Sure.
Oh, first, I do want to ask if Fiona wants to share, what is she doing in the show? Are you singing and dancing?
I'm doing a song that's called Santa's Little Teapot, and I'm also doing the Nutcracker.
I'm so excited.
Yeah.
Is this your first time being on the stage? Big stage? No.
You've done a couple ballets, right?
Yes.
But she's very featured in this show, so it's very cool to see her come to life. Obviously, we're pretty biased on our kids, and I was sure that Fiona was ready for it. I wasn't quite ready for how much she shines, and she's pretty spectacular. I'm pretty proud of you.
I'm so excited. You know what else is a first? You're the youngest people we've had on our podcast. Right, Gerardo?
That's right.
Yeah, so are you 7 or 8 now?
7.5.
Okay, so right in between. Nailed it. Right? What do you think, Gerardo?
Yeah, no, she's pretty tall.
Okay. What's your favorite part of doing Nunsense? Like, is it the performing part, singing part, costumes?
Pretty much all of it.
Awesome. Awesome. Do you think that you want to act again?
Definitely yes.
Okay, I'm so excited. Move over, Dad and Mom.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, she listens pretty well in rehearsal, and then we'll come home and she goes, so Dad, I was thinking, when you told me to do this, have you thought of maybe doing it this way?
That's pretty cool.
So you're also like the assistant director.
Back a couple months ago here at Sonoma Live, I was lucky enough to direct my wife again in Side by Sondheim, which was a fantastic show. I wish more had seen it. It's kind of unwell. She was pretty darn good in it. But Teagan and Fiona were my assistant directors in that one. So now Fiona is acting, so Teagan gets to help me out with some decisions on directing here as well, which is cute.
We took quite a break from doing theater, and getting back into it, it had to be something we would build as a family. And whether they wanted to be in shows or not, that really wasn't part of it, but just that a community where, with like Jamie and Rick Love, that we can be together as a family, because as any artist knows, it takes a lot of time away. And there's a lot of sacrifice involved, and we weren't really willing to sacrifice our family. So this is why this has been just such an amazing home for us to find.
That's funny. That's kind of why I ended up back at the community center too, because my daughter was young and I wanted to teach again. And she was right alongside with me until COVID happened, and she found horses instead of
people,
instead of ballet. But I still make her hold the curtains and help out in that little ways. Hey, let's go way back. You like our rewinds? Everybody's got their version.
Great sound bites.
I know. Yours is like a record scratch, Gerardo.
DJ Pirate coming at you live.
Exactly. 50 years of hip hop. Okay, so before you met, I know that you're from Long Island, aren't you?
I am from Long Island, New York.
Okay, I lived there for a little bit, so I knew that. And Maeve, where did you grow up at?
I'm from Half Moon Bay.
Oh, you're right down. Oh, in the fog.
Yeah.
Foggy.
Well, no fog anymore thanks to global warming, but I won't go down that road. It looks like San Diego there now. But yeah, Half Moon Bay, and then went to Chico State for musical theater.
Yeah? Were you always, even when you were young, did it bite you then?
Andrew
or what
and I
were you
are big sports kids.
Really?
Yeah.
So what was your sport?
Basketball, softball, played some lacrosse even in college. Just huge sports kids. But we loved music, loved singing. Andrew has a good story for his background too. And so, tried out for the high school shows.
Yeah.
And loved it. That was the bug with high school.
Okay.
And then wanted to go to college for sure, was really into school. And was kind of one of those kids that was just like, I think I'm going to declare a musical theater major. Like,
yes.
What I was thinking.
That's okay. I did the same thing.
Yeah.
Only it was modern dance. I'm like, really?
Totally.
That was my New York days. So way, way, way off Broadway. What about you? Out in
Long Island, yeah.
What part of Long Island, by the way?
Bay Shore, Long Island. So
okay.
You get the
pretty close stop.
Yeah, on the LR. Yeah, not too far, just into Suffolk. So yeah, I did not grow up doing theater, not like at these ages. If my first show I auditioned for a friend, he was really interested in one of the girls who was auditioning for one of the shows our freshman year of high school.
That's always what happens,
yeah, he was
right?
my good buddy. We played soccer, all those teams, and we were in choir together. I was always a singer. And then he wanted to do that, and I said, sure, I'll go with you. That sounds fun. And then got the bug, and my first show was Bye Bye Birdie, and I really enjoyed it. And then throughout high school.
How can you not? Bye, Birdie. Come on.
Yeah. That was my second high school show.
Molly.
I've never been. That's the only words I know to that song, too. It's kind of embarrassing, but I'm all, as soon as I hear it, bye, bye, I can't help it.
I love it.
Four-legged woman.
I think I'm going to come super late to musical theater. Maybe one of these days I'll get some lessons and really just...
Well, it's a fun life. And for us, it became a bit of a life. And I went to college. I was not pursuing theater. I was going to be a secondary ed English teacher. And it changed when I was graduating. I'd performed in the college shows, but not as a major and not taking any classes, but was doing pretty okay at it. And when I was graduating, a couple weeks before graduation, I thought, I really don't want to be a 21-year-old kid teaching 18-year-olds what to do with their life and to live their dreams, because I feel like I didn't deserve that yet.
Right.
So I said, let me just try this thing. And I auditioned for a couple things in New York, and the rest is history. I got a bunch of work and then went to grad school where I met Maeve in San Diego.
That's where you guys met.
San Diego State grad school, 2 years out of college for me, right when she came out of college for her. Finished that degree. They accepted 8 people every 2 years, and we were through Kismet together.
I think I heard that. So there was only 8 people in the program, and 2 of you.
Yeah.
A love connection.
I know. 25% of them got married, of those people, I guess,
right?
to each other, right? And we came back from grad school.
Went to New York.
Went back for Maeve the first time to New York and started taking professional jobs and gigs whenever we could. Scraping by, not making too much money, but not starving. It was actually a really fantastic time of our lives, living on hardly anything, but feeling so full to the brim.
Around what years?
2008 to 2010.
Okay.
So in 2010, we got our first big money break. Was I got hired to headline a cruise ship in the shows, and
that's what I'm super curious about.
Yeah, it was really fun. I got the gig first. And
did you know that, Gerardo?
No.
It's pretty cool. Yeah, it's
in a
cool.
cruise ship?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was pretty cool. We were the rowers. No, I'm teasing. I got a job first going out on a cruise ship, and Maeve stayed in New York, and I came back after the first contract and said, we got to do this together. This is amazing. And
I guess I just have love boat fantasies. And I always wanted to be Julie, the cruise director, entertainer director.
Yeah.
Is that kind of what you did?
No.
I know you're not Julie, but...
No, we did. We were all just singing and dancing and that stuff. We didn't have
awesome.
We went into smaller ships and we did a little bit of that stuff as far as hosting activities.
Yeah.
Smaller ships, like how big?
Like 684 guests, 400 crew.
Oh, okay.
So what was cool about that's when Maeve finally joined me on this journey. And that's when we can go into some really amazing ports and go down the Amazon River and go into...
how many days?
When we got into this, was Oceania cruises. They didn't really have set days. So there were some cruises that were 36 days. There were some that were 7. But we never really had a home port. We just kept going in like figure eights around the world.
Wow.
Which was really cool for us because we got to see...
You travel.
Dozens and dozens of countries.
Yeah.
You'd wake up in France, you wake up in Spain, you wake up in Italy, and you're
Top
like, what's
places.
next? Oh, maybe you go.
Top places.
Oh, Greek islands.
Really?
Which
like
one?
Santorini? And
Totally.
Yeah.
And Amalfi Coast. But the coolest, most unique thing we got to do was our boat went down the Amazon. And that was like
a little town called
unreal.
Boca de Valeria, which is a little village, really. And we got to dock in there, and they came out to the boats with sloths and caiman and wild rainforest animals, and that were their pets. And it was very just...
there. Yeah, they just welcomed us into their village, and it was awesome.
Some people could call it living in poverty. I don't. I call it living in wealth, but just a redefinition of wealth, right?
Yeah.
Right.
There's one TV screen for the whole town, but that's plenty. They watch soccer or football in one day, and there's one computer in the school that has 40 students.
I love it.
But it worked, man, in ways that we were jealous, and we were living on this luxury cruise ship. And I was like, man, they're getting it right.
I agree.
Yeah, me too.
So Gerardo over here is a big fisherman. So how many days until you can retire at the Mazatlan? Lots, right? But it's a dream. It really is a dream.
Yeah, when I was down in Mexico, whatever we had like to survive, and we fished to eat and stuff, but we didn't feel like we were poor.
There's that old story. There's this rich man who goes down to, call it Mexico, say a little fishing village, and he sees an old man who goes out and he catches 2 fish, and he comes back in, and that's enough for his family. He goes, well, why are you stop fishing? He's like, well, that's enough. That's all I need. He's like, well, what if you fished for 3 more hours and you got 6 fish? Then you can sell 4. And then if you sold 4, you could buy another boat and someone else can do it. Then you can get 12. And then you have a whole fleet of boats. You don't have to work anymore. You can stop and just go fishing for 2 hours and get 2 fish and feed your family. It was like you fight these 50 years to spend a couple years doing what the simplicity of that is. So
there's another one that I heard that like this rich guy took his son to like poor people, and then they realized that those people, they were poor, but they were super happy. And the son is like, well, thank you, Dad, for making me realize how terrible we are, with money.
For showing me the wrong message. Yeah, of course. I've never lost that. So even though here in Sonoma, we're doing fairly well, I'd consider us successful. We have great jobs. We're known in the community, but there's not too much. There's lots I want, and there's lots of things that make life a little easier, sure. But the 4 people sitting in front of you, that's a little bit of enough.
This is a good message because when this comes out,
we're getting deep today. Huh?
We are getting deep, and this will be coming out during Thanksgiving. And we actually will be having like a gratitude meditation happening over here, and it's a good reminder this time of year. So these stories it's always a good reminder.
It's one of our favorite family holidays. Even at regular dinner, what we'll do is, we're a very busy family, and there's lots of different timing, but we'll sit around the table, and the girls love it. We'll say, hey, let's hold hands, and what are you thankful for? And even the 4-year-old will say, I'm thankful for, he's just going to make a silly noise. I'm like, okay, I get it. And Fiona will say, family and the food in front of us. And we'll say,
ice cream,
of
Fiona,
course.
I'm going to I like that.
Around this time, I always like to tell a story that happened when I was little with my grandma. My grandma didn't have a lot of money, and I remember Christmas were, pretty bad for us. Like, there was no gifts and stuff, So I remember one day my grandma was like, hey, let's go down to the mercado, where all the vendors and stuff. And I think my aunts were going to buy something. I remember it was raining. We were sitting in the curb, me and my grandma, and we just sitting there. And, she's like, don't ask for anything because we have no money. And I'm all right. I was like around 5. And then suddenly, like, it was raining and this roll of bills came down on the drain.
Whoa.
And my grandma picks it up. She's like, let's go shopping. And we went shopping. It was the only Christmas that I had with her that we went shopping. But for some reason, there was a big roll of money, maybe from one of the vendors.
Yeah.
But I tell you another one. When my wife had cancer in 2009, I remember I was in UCSF, and I remember I was there for like 30 days, and it was to the point where I didn't have any money. I only had money either to pay my parking or to eat. But at that time, I used to smoke. And I was smoking a cigarette, and it was raining, and I was looking at the sky, and I'm like, what do I do? Should I eat or should I just pay the parking? A $50 bill.
Dang.
In the rain, just going to the drain. I looked up and I go, thank you.
Thank you. Do both today.
Yeah. So it was one of those things where, I don't know, I always tell those stories because around this time, it's like, it's sad, but it's also, there's always somebody that's looking out for you.
Well, and life isn't easy, and so you do have to notice the things and be aware when those really special things happen, and you catch a break once in a while.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was definitely a break.
Yeah.
And to go back just a touch to the show, in the moments of hilarity of Nuncrackers, there are these moments that, in the heart of it, it's nuns and priests talking, giving some advice. And there's some moments, almost very similar stories to what you're saying about keeping the faith and being grateful for what you have and figuring it all out. And every now and then you get a little lucky, right? And something like that happens, and not taking it for granted.
Yep.
Those are wonderful stories. Thanks for sharing.
Yeah.
I love those. Okay. So I'm going to jump all over the place, and we can jump all over the place. I know another thing too, is you both are in the wine business.
We both are in the wine
right?
business.
Yep.
Corsi Graves.
I'm at Corsi Graves Winery.
And you are San Giacomo?
San Giacomo Family
I went to
Wines.
school with
yes.
some of those
Did you?
kids there. Oh, yeah. I mean, this is an old Italian town. All
Yeah,
the
of
old
course.
vineyards, everything was found by the Italians, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So what exactly do you do over there?
Sure, I'll go first. I'm the
I heard it
hospitality
on
sales
Sonoma
manager.
Spiel, but
on the
I've heard it on the
Spiel.
Spiel.
He
What's
gets
your
around.
name?
But
I
Andrews.
help run the hospitality program for the San Giacomo family, which
Cool.
I thoroughly love. I live off a smile, so I get to make them every day. Forward facing, yes, I manage the staff
What
behind
if you
the
have
scenes.
a bad day, Andrew?
I don't have bad days. I don't let anyone see it,
Really?
at least. Yeah, of course,
Wow.
because they
Amazing.
deserve. There's 1,000 choices out here. If you get in front of me, you deserve my best. Whether inside I'm hurting, I don't show it on the outside.
Yeah.
I have family and support and friends who will get that. Not the worst of me, but the challenges that I deal with. But you can't have a bad day. Honestly, it's hard to do it. If you don't want to do that, then don't be in hospitality.
Yeah.
So, Maeve, completely different style of
I was
job.
going to
at
say,
least.
bad day, that's what a glass of wine is for.
Fair enough.
You're
Then,
at
the,
the
then the
right
consumption comes
And,
into it.
we work in wine, so we're not curing cancer. I have a coworker that says, we don't have the kidney in the cooler. Like, we're working wine.
Sorry, that's
But
funny.
we're running big businesses. I mean, wine is big business. And we take it seriously, but just maybe not ourselves that seriously.
That's a good combo in this town.
Oof. I'm at Corsi Graves Winery. It's on top of Bennett Mountain. It's a beautiful property, stunning, tip-top mountain, gorgeous wine. And I'm the general manager, so I do all the fun
You
stuff.
do a lot at the back.
Oh, yeah.
Swiss Army knife.
Yep.
Love it.
Yeah.
But I do love business. I love wine. We did transition into wine a few years back, and it aligns with theater. It aligns with entertainment. I'm a huge history nerd, and I love wine culture. I love learning about cultures. I think when we traveled, what do people drink? What do people eat?
Yeah.
That was where our love for wine started. And, there were sommeliers on the ships, and they taught us about wine. And then we're in Bordeaux, and we didn't know what we were doing. But we're in Bordeaux, and then we're in Australia, and all these amazing wine regions. And then when we ended up getting out to California, Andrew was the one that said, I want to get into wine. And I said, okay, let's do it. Go for it. And that brought us to Sonoma. I mean, we just love culture and community. And also this Sonoma wine community is incredible.
That's amazing. I don't really drink wine very much, but I can appreciate people that do. I've had some good ones in the past. I just don't.
Yeah.
Grew up in the Sonoma Valley. I probably took it for granted, so
sure.
I do have wine every so often. But as far as the whole agriculture and families, especially like San Giacomo's that go back, it's a mad respect for
Absolutely.
farming.
Absolutely.
for taking care of the grapes and building and keeping like this family.
And being stewards of the
know?
land. And
Exactly.
so much of Sonoma is sustainable practices and people that care very deeply
Exactly.
about the land and the community.
And just farming. I mean, you need a farmer every day. You don't always need a doctor every day, but you need a farmer every day. Okay.
San Giacomo's in particular have been doing this as of October 24th was 96 years in the same place, same house.
They're almost as old as the Sonoma Community Center.
Yeah, they are. I know.
As a building.
As
yeah.
a building. They are as old as the Fairmount. The Fairmount is 1927 it was built.
Is that right?
Yeah, so it's the same year. Vittorio San Giacomo was born in the late 1800s in Italy, like many of the people, the Specialis, everyone who's out here, came over, and they haven't stopped, though. They're still the same family, the third generation who's running the place with the fourth generation in line for what's next. And I've been in wine 6 years, but once I got with the San Giacomo's, things totally changed because there's just such a great level of respect that they have for themselves, that the town has for the family, that putting that logo on my chest changed everything about my feeling about being Sonoma. I was always enamored with it. Now I feel like I'm part of it.
Exactly.
And that changes you. They make you part of it. Yeah.
There's good families in town that treat you like family, and that makes all the difference.
Absolutely.
And,
Do they bring their grapevines from like Italy or?
No. When
is it like natives now?
They came in 1927, so remember Prohibition was rampant out here, so there was no real crop necessity for grapes. So they only got into grape growing in 1969, and what they did is they went to Livermore and went with the Wente family, who has been growing since the 1850s. Chardonnay in particular out here, the oldest clippings from France. So it was not Italian, but it was a very important pivotal moment because Chardonnay quickly, in about 6 years later, blew up in the Napa scene with the Judgment of Paris. So a little bit of luck in that story, and it exploded for them.
I used to work as an Uber driver, and I used to pick up a lot of people that used to come in wine taste.
Yeah.
And I picked up a lot of people from Germany and France, and they were here for the wine because they said that the wine was better than the one in France now.
And did a Frenchman say that? They must have been very drunk because I don't know if they. A lot of them won't admit that. That's for sure.
And I used to pick up French people who used to say that we used to make grape juice.
Yeah.
They're like, you guys can make grape juice. But then I heard that there was a competition up in France, and California wine won.
Judgment of Paris, 1970. Yeah.
So, you know.
No, not Sideways. Bottle Shock.
Oh.
Sideways is very funny, but it's a tasting thing. But Bottle Shock is about the Judgment of Paris in 1976.
That's right.
Steve Spurrier hosted a judgment against all the Parisian judges who thought that French was the best, and he said, I think California can hold a candle to
That's
this.
right.
They blindly, to their chagrin, voted California wine the best in the world.
Yeah.
They were furious, but it shot us into public renown.
I was watching a documentary also
Look
that
at us
I guess China has really good wines now.
Yeah, and they have the buying power. I can't remember what's the documentary. It's like the Red Movement or the Red Tide or something like that, and it's about all the Chinese, new or old money, but really falling in love with luxury wine, and they're taking Napa by storm. And they have growing regions now in China, which was never even thought of. So we're all evolved, right?
Really?
Yeah. Wow. Who knows? We might be sitting at this table in 40 years thinking, remember when no one respected Chinese wine?
Yeah, exactly. Wine, I love it. I'm glad you guys are here.
Wine, theater, family,
theater. Deep down, I know you guys are super busy. In fact, I'm like, when do they sleep? I see you guys
Have
at
you seen
school.
the bags
Our
under my
kids,
eyes? We don't
I know.
sleep.
Our kids go to school together, so I see you there in the morning.
Sure do.
And then you work all day, and then you're down here running rehearsals. You're in everything. Maeve, I love watching you.
Oh,
you're
that's
amazing.
really sweet. Thank
I
you,
haven't
Molly.
seen you perform yet, Andrew. But
That's okay. I forgive you. You didn't see Guys and Dolls? You didn't come see Guys and Dolls?
didn't.
Or Drowsy Chaperone? Or Forever Plaid?
You know, I've never
now
seen
I'm
a play in my
feeling like
life.
a bad theater goer.
Just kidding. I mean, I was in those, but there's so much that goes on. It's a very vibrant community.
Yeah.
You can't make every show. Even me, as the president of the board, unfortunately misses some of the runs, and it's
And there's
what
so
a good
much that
problem to
goes
have.
on at the community center.
Of course.
I can't even.
Of course.
I mean, just next weekend we have a comedy show, a ceramics gallery opening. I have a dance recital, and you name it. It's almost overwhelming how much there is to do with the community. So I'm trying to learn more balance of there's the community that it's so important to be there for them, but also your family. So really hard, like making sure that I'm taking time out to be with my teenager. She'll be driving soon and out.
Oh, once they start driving, you're never
They're
going to see him
gone.
again. My son starts driving.
Never
It's gone.
haven't seen him in years.
Every time after school, he's like, "Hey, Dad, I'm gonna go stop by and eat with my friends." I'm like, "You don't want to eat home?"
You don't even
Yeah, exactly.
And he's like, "Oh no, this is the only time I have with my friends." I'm like, "You see him every day, you know?" It's like, "Come on, man."
It's pretty crazy. But the caveat for me doing this show was if I was going to do the show, I really needed to make sure that Maeve and I was hoping my daughter would be talented enough, and lo and behold, Fiona is shining. So I wanted to make sure if I was going to devote the time it's needed in this holiday season, I wanted our family to be together. What's the saying? You get 18 summers, 18 Christmases, all those things before your kid can transition. So, I mean, we're halfway through almost.
Than that. It really does.
Of course, because
in California
you have someone,
culture,
I know.
Once they get wheels, it really...
I know.
And
yeah.
I have a 13-year-old, so I'm all...
I know.
Well, we're
Still
really
great.
feeling we're in that season with our kids.
You guys are lucky you have little kids,
I
man.
mean,
We
it
feel
is
that.
the sweet
Yeah,
spot.
yeah.
We look at them and
It
we're
makes
like,
you tired, but it's so rewarding, right?
Oh, yeah.
And even the hard moments when you hopefully at the end of the night, once you're both staring at each other going like, we did it, you can reflect and say like, but when she made that little face, wasn't that cute? Or I sit there with a black eye and my shirt's all torn from her going crazy. But I'm like, oh, but the way she punched me was so cute. You know, it's
She might have a
the nice
future.
one. Yeah, she's the next Muhammad Ali.
Exactly. I love it when they're young like that. There's so many things that
Me too.
you dream for them, you know?
Yeah.
You're like, it's so innocent.
Once they
and I
get
love
into
it.
the teenagers, they're like, "Oh,
Yeah.
these kids." So demanding, you know.
They're still
It's like,
good, though. I'm
they
liking
want
this.
so many things.
Yeah.
I got a 7-year-old, so it's still my baby.
Yeah, of course.
Leo, dynamic kid, that kid over there. I'm going to go back a little bit to theater too. So outside of that, though, what are your other passions? There's wine, there's
Traveling.
theater,
Traveling, definitely.
More traveling. Aren't you guys going somewhere pretty
going to
soon?
Mexico on Sunday.
Ooh, where you going?
Puerto Vallarta.
Puerto
Vallarta.
Vallarta.
They love it down there.
This is the time to go, man.
Yeah?
This is the time to go.
I've gone
good
mostly
weather
in the summer. Okay,
Good
that's
weather.
nice to
Oh,
hear.
it's so nice in the fall.
You don't want to go in the summer. That's like humid over there.
know.
we
that's when
always
we
did
usually
growing
go.
up because that's when we were out of school.
And they just had this big storm though too. Destroy Acapulco.
Oh, yeah.
Destroy
Yeah.
Acapulco. So
I'm crying over here. I'm all, what? I've never been.
I can't wait.
I'm from Mazatlan. You ever been to Mazatlan?
I haven't.
No, Mazatlan is beautiful too.
I love traveling to Mexico. But I'll travel just about anywhere. Just tell
Nice.
me.
I hear ya.
And Andrew's
Yeah,
the
I'll go
same.
to Lodi. I mean,
we
I don't
really
care. Let's
like.
go.
I think that
Heard
was
about that.
something that we fell in love doing. I mean, even driving across country from California to New York. Like, I don't know. We have like a hotel we love stopping at in Oklahoma.
I love that. How many times have you done that?
2 or 3.
Yes. We did that a couple of times as a family. It was 1980, and I had a family of 3 brothers. And we had a green station wagon, just like the family Trexter out of vacation. It truly was driving out here just like that. Fantastic. I do want to get into a little bit too, going back to the theater. You were talking to me a little bit about a show that you're directing coming up next year. Am I
so
right?
excited.
I read a little bit about it, but tell us
It's
about
cool,
it.
right? Mm-hmm. It's called The Hello Girls. And it is the true story of Grace Banker and the Hello Girls. World War I was the first opportunity to use telephone on the battlefields. And the people that were the most skilled in the United States were women. And they ended up going through rigorous screening to get chosen. And there was over 200 of them. And they got sent over to France. You know, they're credited with pretty much being the communication, the signal corps of the army and helping them win the war. And so it's the true story of Grace Banker and the Hello
wow.
Girls. Pretty sure Sonoma Arts Live is going to be the California premiere of this musical. It was a huge hit off Broadway.
Okay.
And one of the things we do at Christmas is we order each other musicals to listen to that we don't know.
I love
and
that.
try to like outdo each other.
It's a great little tradition.
And
we've
that's
created
how
now.
I found the Hello Girls. And being a mom of 2 small daughters, I don't usually get to listen to something from start to finish. And I put it on and poured myself a glass of wine, and they were kind of playing, and I listened to it from start to finish. And I was like, this is amazing.
Wait. Can you back up for a second for people that don't know? What do you mean ordering each other some music?
CD.
You can
CD.
like the CD.
Like the
Yeah.
physical CD.
We still
yeah.
do it.
Yeah.
We have a record player, combo, CD player.
And it's, you know, Spotify. I have all my
Yeah.
subscriptions that are appropriate.
Believe me, I have all this old ballet music. Cost me a lot of money on
Right.
CDs. So you
But
can't
yeah,
find anywhere.
so that is going to get started after the new year. It opens in March.
Women's Month, folks.
Women's
Yeah.
Month. There were so many Hello Girls, but it's 5 females. The cast I've found is so amazing. I mean, there are some faces people will know, but some brand new faces.
Great. Have you announced the cast yet, or are we waiting for that?
I mean, I think it's official, but I can tell you them.
Tell me.
Okay. Grace Banker is Jenny Valou, and she was just Adelaide in Guys and Dolls. And I did Winter Wonderettes with her. She's in Napa, so she does a lot of Napa theater, but she's found her home over in Sonoma. Wonderful. So I locked her down.
Fantastically talented, too.
Oh, just the best. And also, like, these women are just amazing humans, too. So it's just, people are going to be blown away by this show.
And if you're not in theater, that matters almost as much as talent because you give so much of yourself and so much time. You want to work with a person.
Oh, yeah.
And Maeve nailed that.
It's got to become like a family. Otherwise, it's not really worth
well,
it.
And it takes so much time. And at this like semi-professional community theater level, like we're all doing this for the love of it. Let's be real. And there's a part of us that's just our passion. And so it's got to be fun for sure. Sarah Lundstrom, she's been on the Sonoma Arts Life stage as well in Winter Wonderettes and 39 Steps. She's a Napa peep. Tina Trabulsi, she's an East Bay gal. Emily Evans, East Bay as well. She's been on Sonoma Arts Live. And then this gal from San Francisco, Caroline Shen. The other cool part is that they all play instruments.
What?
Those of you out there that love Hamilton, the musical Once, it's this kind of immersive, experiential thing where there's not going to be a big set. It's going to be these people telling a story through movement and dance and instruments.
You know, I'm excited.
And
perking right up.
It's going to be so cool. I don't think anyone has seen anything like this before, and don't miss it.
Well, we got lots of times, and hopefully we'll have you back for Women's
I'll talk more
Month.
about it, and I'll bring some of those gals. But thanks for letting me talk about it for a minute. I'm just immersed in it. I'm just so excited.
You were so excited the other day. We went from like the talent show that was happening at the school. Thank you, Maeve.
So no return talent show. I got to talk
about this, and I'm all, wait, what are we talking about quite yet? Yeah, that's amazing.
Nuncrackers, like your family.
Yeah.
I mean, I appreciate you letting us come in here and chat about our little world. We just love Sonoma. It's just awesome. The circles, all of it. The theater circle, the wine circle, the school circle.
Yeah. There's a big support here. It's a great place for families and kids. And it's even so much more than it was like when I was a kid. I used to come down to the theater, see all the old bands. So we always seem to talk about that. Primus and blah, 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 blah. And they'd have us our old parties in there and that sort of thing. Now, real quick, you've heard of the ghost story up there. Have you had any experiences?
I really haven't. And I didn't know the story, but Andrew makes fun of me because I don't know what I believe.
Exactly.
But I will walk in somewhere and be like, this is haunted.
I know you believe. You believe that things are haunted all the time.
I don't know what it is. And I've definitely been in super haunted theaters. But I don't think.
You don't get the vibe over
I've
there.
had to walk into that theater and it's so dark and like find the light switches and walk all the way to the back.
Oh, yeah. I've worked here and been here for a really long time, but we've had facilities have some experiences, right? With the balcony and young woman or whatever. So I don't know how much of that is true or just ghost stories, but
I mean, I love a good ghost story.
Exactly.
And this town is so old. I mean, it's for sure haunted.
Haunted, UFOs.
When we bought our house, I walked in, I'm like, it's not haunted. Okay, we're good. Like, I'm not into it. Like, I don't want to be a part of it. I'm not.
Maeve's all got her paranormal.
No, I don't want to attract it. I don't want any. Nope. Like, you guys just live in your other universe and I'll be on mine. Thanks.
Exactly.
I'm not.
We're getting close. Not only is it getting towards the end of the night, but you guys are on your second shift, right? Are you running rehearsals tonight?
We gotta go to rehearsal. I gotta get home and we got rehearsal.
I know.
What do you not do?
Sleep.
I know.
I sleep.
No,
great.
you know what?
We sleep.
Of course we sleep. We love this. We do this because we love it. And honestly, when I'm firing all cylinders is when I have a lot of stuff going on. Yeah. When I find myself being the laziest is when you have just your full-time job of 40 hours a week. I feel oh man, I am not doing anything creative, and that's my outlet or my inspiration. So,
I mean, maybe we could go to the gym a little more.
Oh, certainly. That is one thing we don't do enough. Sure. We don't do enough of that. That's for sure.
That's okay. You give it all to the theater, and we can't appreciate it more because Sonoma Arts Live is a great local theater. People come in all the time, the community center. Well, they always ask about the place. And really, you guys are your own thing that basically run the theater.
It's a fantastic partnership, right? It's a fantastic
Exactly.
partnership.
There's so much here, and I want to see so much happen
Me
for
too.
theater and kids, and just it take
All
off
of
in
it.
all the direction.
What's unique about Sonoma, it's a great small town, but there is quality arts.
There's a lot.
There's quality restaurants. There's
fantastic.
5-star luxury spas. There's amazing hiking. So it's like, it's a paradise. There's plenty of beautiful small towns, but they don't have all this.
I got a question for you guys.
What's the question?
What's your favorite Mexican food?
Oh,
In
like
town?
the
In
place?
town.
Oh, that's great
Oh,
It could
question.
be taco trucks or it
Yeah.
could be restaurants.
No, it's the place, the Brinquito
Is that the one up on Baez Charter?
by Flowery.
That we
in
just
the
kind of
corner, right
started
in the
getting
corner.
from?
the chicken?
Brinquito, the chicken place.
Yeah.
Was
You
that
like
the
that place?
red building next to like Flowery?
It's next to Flowery, like
Yeah,
across
yeah,
from
right in
the
the corner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We just really discovered that one the other day. My go-to is always La Hacienda up there. I love to
Okay.
sit in
Yeah.
there.
The red place that's on Spain Street.
Oh, by
By
Staples.
So, El Jalisco?
Yeah.
Maybe we should be asking you.
Are you ready for a new place?
Yeah.
'Cause he's really just setting you up to share with our unofficial sponsor.
We have different things at
I have
different
different
places.
things like, the carnitas at one place.
Where's
like,
the breakfast
yeah.
burrito?
What's the carnita place
the
that you like?
tacos?
I do. That's
You're
a
afraid
hard
to
one.
answer. He's
I don't want
he's
to
a
hurt anyone's.
professional
No,
here.
no,
He
no,
knows
no, no.
it.
Don't worry, no one's listening.
I think I like better.
I love that's the spirit.
You got 8.
The Jalisco place by Staples I just like them crispy. My carnitas have to be crispy.
Okay. If you're ever down the like carnitas, try the one in Highway 12. It's called El Gran Taco.
See, they
Yes.
knew
On,
it.
on
We live
Sunday,
right there.
Saturdays and Sundays,
I
they
knew
do
this place would be-
carnitas by
Okay.
pounds.
Oh, good.
Delicious.
That's the only way I eat carnitas. By the I don't think there's another serving size, is there?
Mucho carnitas,
But
poquito
tacos,
tortilla.
Yeah,
if you ever want to have like amazing tacos,
Yes.
go to Tacos La Costa, Costa Tacos.
Where's that?
What's
So Tuesdays they're in Starlin Bar,
Oh.
and then
my God.
Wednesday they're there, and then Friday, Saturday they're at the brewery.
Oh,
We've had them, but they're not at the brewery anymore, right? Because they're not allowed to be.
Yeah, they're back. They're back in the brewery.
Because that is
Yeah.
some of the
I
best
forgot. Oh,
I've
and the
had.
onions
Yeah, the little
too.
onions and the potatoes on the
there
side.
you go. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
yes.
We actually love the brewery. Like, shout out to Sonoma Springs. We
Yeah.
love going there.
Well,
Katie
they're
and the
back
crew.
there, and they're delicious.
We do
They're
love
the best. I mean, I don't have any tacos except there.
You're
you know?
right.
I mean, I would do a different taco place if there was 14, I would do lunch and dinner every day at a different place.
But if you are in Napa, try Mother Tacos.
Okay.
Mother taco.
They're not as moist as the Costa Tacos,
Okay.
but the taste on the meat is delicious. And then if you ever want to have a really good breakfast, go to La Cheve in Napa.
Okay.
Where's Napa? Where's
Napa?
they're-
Come on, you know Napa.
No, they're
Fine people.
Yeah, they're famous for auto parts, I think.
that?
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard of
That's
it.
so good. Yes, Costa's Tacos. And
Costa
Springs
Tacos.
Brewery. You ever go? You
Spring
guys,
Brewery.
you go to bingo night?
No, we
but
haven't.
Okay.
we go on the
Next
weekends.
summer,
Like,
we're
my mom's
going.
birthday was on Sunday, and they live in Half Moon Bay, so they came up, and
Yeah.
I went. So you want to go to the
haven't been here
brewery?
in a while,
Oh,
yeah.
we'll go to the brewery.
We love, what's funny is Fiona will request going to the brewery because when we get out of charter at 3, I'd pick her up and I'd be I'm off Mondays or I used to be off Tuesday, Wednesdays because I work in hospitality. So she'd be like, "Dad, can we go to the brewery?" And I was like, "You are, you know what, right? Because that sounds fantastic. I
You're
love
this
the
is my
brewery."
girl.
She's like, they have snacks. Like,
So she gets to hang out with my favorite babysitter, which is my phone and the screen time there as they're doing right now.
they
where
know it.
Fiona has
I
magically
know.
disappeared.
They were good sports.
Yeah, they did. They tried.
Yeah.
An hour's a long time for them to be on radio.
Well, I really just appreciate everything you all do here.
You were on our board for a little bit, which I was like blown away that you found the time to do that, Maeve.
Then I had to switch. I just felt called to switch to the school because I was like,
Yeah.
oh, both my kids go
and-
there.
And thank
There'll be
you
time
for
for
that
this too, Maeve,
because Sonoma Charter School is a wonderful small school, and it's always, and I find it even harder after COVID as far as like getting volunteers and people having enough time. It usually ends up being the same people. So thank you for taking over.
But
the
with a small school, you
CCC.
can make such a big
You can make a difference.
impact,
Yes.
which we're just so grateful for.
That's a great point because I have been very disenfranchised lately with my effects on the world in the grandiose scheme, right? But when you live in a small place like this, you can become the board of the theater or the board of the school district or work at a community run family business and make a difference in the everyday life that's directly affecting you. Sometimes when you feel like your vote doesn't count or your voice isn't heard, it is in a small town like this, right?
You got to go micro for sure.
Go micro. Yep.
Yeah.
because that's where you'll see a big difference.
This has been very
cool.
philosophical. I was
awesome.
I was going to talk about
My
funny
kids,
nuns or
they go
something.
to Woodland Star.
Nice.
So they did
It's
10
another
years there.
small, great.
Yeah,
Yes, now they moved to Dunbar.
I know. They're
I mean,
With
that's
fantastic.
a
all
nice
the way over there.
spot.
Super far away.
I know. That's tough.
It's like
Yeah.
25 minutes just to get there. Yeah.
Yeah, but to be fair, during tourist season, it's like 25 minutes from Boys Hot Springs to downtown.
Yeah.
You hit that wrong right by McDonald's that light the wrong time.
I'm always the late parent. Always the late parent. But, is it really that bad? No, it's not. Like Sonoma.
It's Sonoma.
We complain
Not like San
about it,
Francisco.
and it really
There's like 26 streets. There's 26
Exactly.
streets in Sonoma.
We're not
Yeah.
in downtown LA, so.
I'm trying to get a
Anyway,
subway
thank
in the
God.
snow in New York.
Oh, that is actually why I ended up leaving New York after a little while. I'm all, I need some
You
wide,
California
expansive
girls,
spaces.
man.
Yeah, exactly.
You
I actually was
California
born
kids.
in New York, but the upper
Oh, okay.
part. So
Where?
Buffalo.
I've heard of it. Yeah, I went to.
And I lived out in Port Washington for a time
yeah,
too
great.
when I was dancing.
I went
so.
to undergrad in upstate New York, but halfway, Oneonta, like the Albany area.
Yeah.
So, and now we're here.
I know.
All right. Well,
Sonoma.
more
Lovely,
things to create and do
beautiful day.
and fun to be had for sure.
I left Sonoma for 1 year and then I'm going back. And I just left to Petaluma. And I'm like, I'm going back to Sonoma.
I've gone far and wide. I must return home.
I was like, where is Sonoma?
Yeah.
Yeah, my husband keeps threatening because he was up in Mendocino. He's a surf
That's
person,
beautiful up
but
there, too.
It's super beautiful, but I just don't know. After it's foggy all summer, I think we have a pretty good balance, except when it's super hot here.
Yeah.
But at the community center, it's nice and not that warm right now because this is an old brick building and
Yes,
it's a little
that's
cool
true.
in the hall. So I'm so thankful Nuncrackers is opening everybody on December 1st.
Sorry, December 1st. Yes.
Why I know all these dates, I don't know. We also have a winter art market at the Sonoma Community Center.
That's right.
And this is over 50 to 60 handmade goods that are made here in Sonoma. Amazing jewelry, ceramics. You can go on sonomacommunitycenter.org and actually see all the artists and samples of their work. Shop local, go see a show at night.
Yeah.
And
buy season tickets as a gift.
buy season tickets as a gift.
Right?
Yeah.
One cool thing I forgot to mention is probably not announced yet, but you'll be the first to hear. On the Sunday matinees, there's going to be a secret visitor to Nuncrackers. Who, I don't want to give you any hints, but ho ho ho.
Does he wear red and white?
Yes,
Has a
yes,
beard.
he does. Has a little bit of beard. Yeah.
Nice.
cool.
No eye
nice.
patch though,
No
so he's
eye
not as
patch.
cool.
He's not a
but
pirate.
He's
He's
a
not a
pretty good
pirate.
guy.
I know. Gerardo knows about a red and white suit. Don't you put that on
I
for
do.
a little? Are we doing
yeah, once in a
Posada?
while. Yeah. For Kids Scoop News.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
Posada is going to happen this year?
Yeah, on the 17th.
Okay. And that will
Fantastic.
happen here as well. So
Yep.
Great.
Yep.
That's our closing day on December 17th, right? Or
Yeah. You guys are going to be playing that 2 to 4 or something?
Uh-huh,
Or like
exactly, the
4 o'clock,
matinee,
right?
yeah,
Yeah, we're
fantastic.
after that. So we'll be here after that.
Oh, see, bring the family, see a
Stay
place,
for a
stay
bu-
around for
yeah.
Posada.
Yeah.
This
We're
is
going to
awesome.
have food and everything.
Yeah.
So
you know where I'll be.
activities and toys for the kids.
I love it. That's so amazing. This place is great.
It's your final bow with tacos. Thank you guys so much for coming
Thank
out.
you.
Fiona, I know you're over in the corner. Congratulations. Can't wait and come and
She's
see you in
resting.
the play.
She's ready. Yeah, sure. Thanks so much
you.
for having us. Have a
Thank you.
great
Thank
time.
you guys.